This is the Padua Podcast Network.
Running a Fever, episode 309.
Shattering the Yo-Yo.
Blessings in Disguise. Previously on Running a Fever.
I walked 5 miles last week, and I will walk 5.25 miles this week. I do feel like it's a day of some great importance because of this little milestone. So the goal is to set a new personal record in terms of distance on this trail. About a month after I started, hurt my knee and I was out for 6 weeks. Then I came back and I was on the same schedule. Out a quarter mile, back a quarter mile. I didn't really have a whole lot this week, but I did have my visit to the back doctor. So I visited with Dr. Knox. First interesting thing was I don't have scoliosis, which has been suspected by my primary care physician for a while, and the symptoms that he was seeing were more in line with what my real disease is, and that is commonly known as Forrester's. DISH is the acronym, and I cannot remember. Degenerative something. It's not good, but it's a disease, so how could it be good? The pain in my right arm that I've been experiencing for several months is due to a pinched nerve. So the next steps are physical therapy starting in another couple of weeks and an MRI next week, I believe, just on my neck. He asked me if I worked out a lot, and I said yes. And there's another historical perspective. When I started this journey, I described myself as sedentary. Of course, as you know, although I'm only walking once a week in this long distance fashion, I am also doing strength training during the rest of the week. And by the way, Dr. Knox also recommended yoga, so I'll be starting that in a few days as well. Now that a doctor has prescribed it, I have to be a good example and practice what I preach here. It's best to consult medical professionals and take their advice. And this guy has 30 years of experience. And so I'm taking his advice. I'm having trouble adding calories without adding unhealthy stuff. Some days it just seems hard to get those calories because I don't keep pizza, ice cream, cheese, whatever around the house. And that's not what I want to eat, so I got to figure out something. Lunch was probably 500-600 tamales with some cheese, and those were good because I could have 1, 2, or 3 depending on how significant a meal I wanted. My weight's fluctuating within a range of 10 or 11 pounds. I'll go down 5 and up 5, something like that. And it usually kind of goes in these trends. Blood pressure's holding pretty well, and since it is in the normal range, I don't expect that my doctor would recommend dropping the medication at all. Unless it drops out of the normal range or I start experiencing symptoms such as lightheadedness, etc. In the normal range and no longer on the borderline, which it has been for a long time, or maybe even slightly over normal. I'm really just trying to figure out what normal is now. I'm starting to figure out that. I'm starting to get into free weights on some of the major muscle groups. And my goal is to just build muscle on a bulk scale. And I understand that's the way to do it. When you activate your whole body, when you're stressing multiple muscle groups, and that triggers a process in the body that just ramps up your muscle building.
Welcome to Running a Fever. My name is Michael Davis. This is a podcast about fitness, diet, and medicine. I just want to live a long, healthy, happy, active life right up to the very end. And that's what I want for you. So if that's what you're interested in, then you're in the right place. Listening to episode 73 as we're in the 45th Shattering the Yo-Yo episode series, 45th in that series, it makes me sad. I can't deny it. I want to live a happy and healthy life, and I'm not healthy now and not happy. Why? I can't walk. I don't mean walking as in, I can't walk at all. I mean, I can't walk for exercise, longer distances. I love walking, and I'm racking my brain trying to figure out something I can do with this whole bone spur Achilles industry. Patience. Over the months, it gets harder than ever. But this episode, which you can hear in its entirety at runningafever.com/73, gives me a couple of ideas and a little encouragement. First, injuries are a fact of life, and hopefully I'll get back to the minimum strength required. To not be further injured, I'll need to start slow. And, oh my goodness, always warm up and stretch. It's so worth it. For me, if I don't do that one time and I overdo it and it costs me, months, maybe a year of not being able to walk, wow. How important is it to take that few minutes and warm up? Weights. I can still do some weight work, though even that is limited. I can stretch and work on flexibility. In fact, I've been prescribed stretching exercises for my ankle, so I'll do that. And I can get my diet back in shape. One problem with my diet now is that I'm not finding palatable the foods I used to eat. I just don't like stuff. I pull it out of the freezer and I'm like, ugh, I can't eat this. But I'm seeking alternatives that are healthy, so there's always a little sunshine behind the clouds. Perhaps a candle against the curse of darkness. Blessings in disguise. So thank you for listening. If you got the fever, keep it. If you don't, catch the fever, and I'll talk to you next time on Running a Fever.